Okay, welcome back. We're going to talk about landing today, how to land aeroplanes, and once you've cracked landing is how to land them in a very short distance. Okay, so I'm going to teach you things that they don't teach you at the flying school. Okay, and this one's called low and slow. So for this lesson we're going to lower 2 stages of flaps. Okay, there's 1, there's 2, and we're going to fly the aeroplane at 55 knots. Okay, let's go. Brakes off. Okay, we're at the bottom of the white arc. 50 knots, 55 knots. We are airborne. Okay, so we're gonna bring the power back now. We're gonna try and keep the aircraft at 55 knots. And the only time you can be low and slow in the real life and not in the simulator is when you're coming in to land, because you don't want to be low and slow while you're going cross country, because if your engine packs up or has a problem, you're going to hit the ground straight away. So it's always better to be high when you're flying the aircraft and practicing going slow. So we're flying, we're literally not touching the runway, we're flying just above the runway, and we're doing it at 55 knots. That's what I want you to practice today. Okay, low and slow, 55 knots. Do not let the aircraft touch the ground. And this is really good practice for when you are coming to do very short field landings. Okay, we're coming to the end of the runway now. So I'm going to turn the aircraft around, still doing low and slow. We wouldn't do this in a real aeroplane, like I said, because if we had an engine problem this low, obviously we'd be straight in. So we're going a bit slow now. As soon as you start turning an aircraft, the speed will come down. So we have to increase the RPM a bit there in the turn. Altitude is safety. The higher you are, the safer you are. So we're going to do that again now. I'm going to bring the speed back to 55 knots, and we're going to, because it's a huge runway here at Manston, we're going to fly right the way down the runway without touching the ground. We're going to get as low as we can, but without touching the ground. And a bit fast there. 55, there we are. And then I'm going to come in and land from the other end, and we'll see how short, because when we want to land, all we need to do is reduce the power and raise that nose. There's the stall warner. Okay, 55. So I'm going to do an approach now, and I'm going to land. Again, we've got 2 stages of flaps down. So we're going to fly the approach at 55 knots. Okay, we've got 50 knots there. Going to lower the nose. We're going to leave the power on all the way in, but we're going to fly at 55, okay? 55 gives you a good safety margin, because according to the airspeed indicator, this aircraft will fly, bottom of the white arc is 40 knots, so that gives you a 15 knot safety margin. I think I've had a 172 down to about 45. Don't think I've got it, had it down to 40, but you know. So there we go. We're going to bring the power back a little bit. 55 knots. Now you don't touch down until you've crossed the piano keys, okay? Trying to maintain 55. Raise the nose. There you go. And as I say, we've hardly used any runway there. So that's the thing to practice. Practice coming in at 55 knots with power for a short landing, and practice short landings. Don't land before the piano keys and then get on the brakes. We'll do it one more time. And see how short you can land this aircraft. This is not the glide approach, this is a powered approach with 2 stages of. We're just airborne at the bottom of the white arc. Lower the nose, let the speed build up. Start our turn. Low and slow. They don't teach you this at the flying school, of course not. And then you could try, because it's a simulator, you can try flying at 55 knots cross country if you want, miss the houses and go around the trees and things. And all the low speed flying that you can get under your belt is excellent training for you for doing short field landings. Watch your speed in the turns, because the speed will come down in the turn. We've nailed 50 knots there. 55. That's good, that's good, that's good. 2 stages of flaps, wheels are fit down and fixed. Over the numbers, and then we'll be right on the brakes. There we go. Close the throttle, raise the nose, don't let it land, keep it off the ground. We're on. Okay. And we're on the brakes. And we're down, we're stopped, and it's just hardly used any runway. So that's the practice. Practice flying low and slow, 55 knots, and practice short field landings. Thanks for watching.